In this video, I'll share with you some really cool and essential items that will make great gifts for the videographer in your life. Now, being a videographer and doing your job well is more than just having the best camera in the world, right? There are a lot of tools that you can get and should get that will make your entire video creation process from filming to editing flow much more seamlessly. And those are some of the things that we will be looking at today on our gift ideas list. And every single item that we discuss will be linked in the description below. And those links are all affiliate links, and that means that if you click on one of those links and make a purchase, I will get a small commission, but there will be no extra cost to you guys. So think of it as a really cool way to support the channel. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into the list. Number one on our list are SD cards. You cannot have too much SD cards when it comes to your videography and storage. The files that your camera will produce from video recording will be much larger than if you were just taking photos. So there are no shortcuts in terms of SD card storage. You need to stock up on your SD cards. Number two on our list is a storage case for your SD cards. You're definitely going to need somewhere to keep your cards when you're traveling, especially when you're going from your shoots. You don't want to have them all over the place. This is the same case that I spoke about in my photographer gift ideas video, so I'll recommend the same one for my videographers out there. Number three on our list, in keeping with the theme of SD cards, is an SD card reader, right? If your computer doesn't have an SD card reader, you're definitely going to need something like this to read the SD card from your camera. This one can read 4 different types of cards, and this is the one I'm using right now. So you definitely need one of these to transfer your files from your SD cards to your computer really fast, right? So I'll put a link in the description for this as well as with everything else that we discussed today. Number 4 on our list are external hard drives. Like, to store those huge files that you're taking off your SD cards from your camera, you're putting them onto the computer and then making a backup on an external hard drive, right? And I always recommend having at least 2 backups of your files. So your files are on your computer, you put them on one external hard drive, and you also want to have a copy of that external hard drive. Trust me, you will not regret it. And in addition to these small ones that I showed you earlier, I also have some big ones that sit on my desk here, and they have their own dedicated power source. Let me just take this off. It looks like this, and it just sits on the desk. The connection's back here, and they literally have 2 hard drives in them, right? This one you can set up in a RAID function that makes a copy of whatever file you put on one automatically gets mirrored onto the other one, if that's something you like, for all my IT folks out there. So this is definitely an option to look at. I'll put that in the description as well. I prefer to have as much backups as possible, so I am big on having external hard drives and backups. Trust me, you will not regret it. Number 5 on our list is a tripod, and I spoke about this tripod in my photographer gift ideas video, and this is the Dolica B204. This is my workhorse tripod that I use to record Learn Share week in and week out. I also have the B200 that's recording this video right now, and I have a bigger tripod here, a really heavy duty video tripod. I'll be sure to leave links for all 3 of those in the description. As a videographer beginning on your journey, you're definitely going to need a tripod for stabilization and smooth videos. It's a no-brainer. You need a good tripod. Next on our list is a gimbal. Now, in addition to stabilization with our tripod earlier, a gimbal, what it does is when you're holding a camera with your hand, or your phone like this one is made for with your hand, you tend to get shakes and jitters because our hands are just not that steady, right? But with a gimbal, what you do is when you move the gimbal around with your camera or your phone, you can see that the phone isn't moving, right? Even though I'm moving the gimbal, the phone is really steady. So that's what you'd use a gimbal for. And as I mentioned earlier, they make them for cameras and phones, so I'll put some links in the description below for both of them, because I know some people prefer to record videos on their phone. Some people like myself are really camera person, so I'll put some links in the description for a variety of these, and they come in all different shapes and sizes and for different purposes, right? Next on our list are ND filters, and these are basically sunglasses for your camera, right? They get you the blurry background effect when you're shooting outside in harsh sunlight. I did a whole video about ND filters not too long ago. I'll put it up in the YouTube card so you guys can check that out. And they go well with step up rings or step down rings based on the filter thread size of your lenses. Because what I recommend is, instead of buying 10 different ND filters for your 10 different lenses, you just buy step up rings or step down rings, and you can adapt those to your filter and then put that filter onto your lenses based on the required size. And those step up or step down rings will really come in handy in terms of saving you money versus buying all these different types of ND filters, right? Number 8, Gaffe Tape. You definitely need a pair of Gaffe Tape for your videography. When you're doing videography with your lighting and stuff, you tend to have more loose cables, you know. I just use these to always tuck the cables on the ground so no one trips over them. If I want to tape up the power adapter for my camera onto the tripod so it's not on the ground, Gaffe Tape. Trust me, you need a pair of Gaffe Tape. Number 9, lighting. You guys know I love this little light right here. I made an entire video about it. I'll put it in the YouTube card as well so you can check it out. And then this one right here is his big brother, obviously. And I'm using a different one up here right now to record this video. There are so many different choices and different types of lighting for different purposes, so I'll do my best to put a lot of variety in the links in the description so you guys can choose what best suits your needs. Number 10, audio and microphones. Good video is as good as the audio in that video. And you know I love to use this little clip-on mic right here. You also have shotgun mics that go onto the top of your camera and connect into the microphone jack on your camera. And you also have audio recorders like this little one right here that I always use right now. I'm using it right now. And you have its big brother right here that can accept connections from traditional vocal microphones. So check the description for all of those options below. Number 11, a reflector. A 5-in-1 reflector like we spoke about in our photographer gift ideas video, right? It has a gold side, a black side, a white side, and it also has a silver side. And it collapses like this, or you can just open it like that. See how big that is, right? And you just use this to bounce light into your scene that you're filming, right? Really life-saving tool to have. You definitely need a reflector in your kit. Next on our list is a backpack to carry most of what we just discussed, as well as your cameras. We'll get to cameras in a few, but the one I use, as you guys know from the last video that we did, is this Low Pro giant backpack here that has all these compartments for my cameras, lenses, my ND filters and stuff like that. And it also has a laptop compartment right here. And I mentioned it last video, but I didn't show it, is like it has this rain shield that just pops out and you just cover the bag so it doesn't suffer to the elements, right? So that's a really good thing to have. You need a backpack. It's nothing to think about, right? So I'll put some options in the description below. Number 13, cameras. There are so many choices for cameras nowadays. You can start really small, like with a GoPro or some kind of other action camera, right? You can do a DSLR like I'm using right now. You can do a compact camera, you know, where the lens doesn't come off. You just turn it on and you're ready to go. So many different options to go for in cameras. So I'll categorize them and put multiple options below. If you're a YouTuber, if you want to do vlogging, or if you want to do serious videography like I do, you know, I always recommend something that will last longer, something that you can use interchangeable lens. You get the best results out of your cameras. So be sure to pay attention to the camera section in the description below. And while we're on the note of cameras, you can also get a drone. You can get really creative with a drone and get perspectives that you'll get from no other device, right? And I really like this DJI Mavic Air right here, right? This is what a drone looks like for those who haven't seen one like up close, you know, just like, well, no, but seriously, like cool perspectives, like cool point of views that you wouldn't be able to get with a regular camera. Obviously this camera can't fly, right? The reason why I like this drone is because of the controller and how your cell phone just fits perfectly within the controller, right? And you can see what the drone is seeing as it's flying. So I really recommend this Mavic Air right here. But the drones come in really small ones and they get bigger in price and capabilities, what they can do. So I'll put some different options down there. Be sure to look under cameras in the description, then you'll see drones, right? The videographer in your life will eventually need like intros, outros, video templates, motion backgrounds, those kinds of things that will really improve and level up their edits and their projects. So I definitely recommend a stock website subscription, and the stock website that I use is called Envato Elements, and I have a custom link in the description that will get you 70% off a monthly subscription. So be sure to check that out under stock website and creative assets. Number 15, you've packed your bag with all your equipment, went to your shoot, now you're back home at your computer, you take your files off your camera and now have them on your computer. You're going to need software to edit, right? And I personally recommend and use Adobe Premiere Pro. It really is the industry standard, and I'll put a link in the description to where you can get it from Adobe's website or where you can buy it on Amazon.com. Number 16, but if you have the editing software, you're going to need a computer to edit on, right? And I always get questions about what kind of computer or a laptop to buy for video editing. So what I'll do is I'll put some recommended laptops in the description below. But what I'll also do is put a custom PC build or just recommend a desktop or some desktop parts in the description as well, because people always ask me what kind of computer I use to edit these videos on, and my computer is a custom build, so I'll put some custom PC parts in the description out there for all my computer savvy subscribers. Number 17 is online classes in video editing with me. If the videographer in your life needs a start or some coaching with getting started in video editing, then you can look for that under online video editing class in the description below. So that brings us to the end of our gift ideas for videographers list. What do you guys think about all that we just discussed? I think it's a pretty extensive list, and the videographer in your life will definitely appreciate you if you grab them a couple things off this list. Remember, it's better to give than to receive. Once again, my name is CJam, and I will see you guys in the next video.